Royalties of peace, telling the storm back to peace that has no storm, looking on to perfect peace. How we are doing today? Yes, another water day. Another water day. Today is Wednesday. Today is Wednesday, August 9th of 2023. Yes, we have been talking about integrity since last month. I wish to continue with understanding of integrity. It is very, very important for us to understand what integrity is because we are integrity before all the other stages of existence. Integrity is perfect peace. Integrity is morality perfect. Integrity. Are you short of your integrity? Are you short-sighted of your integrity? Are you short-sighted of your reality? Struggling with a shadow of being? Are you daydreaming in the reality? We all are the place of complication, wearing flesh, being humans. There are animals, there are other creatures of existence. There is the ocean, there is the tree, the grass, the flowers. All of these that we see of the physical, only in the place of despair. A place of despair. What do I mean by despair? It is time for us to really redefine our words. It is time for us to redefine our words for the sake of the young generation, for the sake of our wellness perfect we must be. Growing up out of experience, there are words that will break you down because of the definition and how we work with them. Did I say in the last video the need to restore competition will need the word cooperation. There is need to restore competition, a very beautiful word, but the way we have worked with it aggressively has reduced the value of the word competition. Today, many falling short of glory, becoming of low self-esteem, and making others looking like arrogance before them. Some feeling like bullies only because of this misuse of the word competition. Competition also meaning cooperation. The real meaning of competition is cooperation. Of the one ahead will cooperate by encouraging the one behind to keep advancing. Being ahead does not make you the only existence, but rather an encouragement for the one behind to see the need to keep on advancing to perfect. Not condemning the one behind. Always ahead, like a leader, is also a follower. A leader is also a follower. Because there is one that we follow, perfect peace. You must not forget, perfect peace, we all follow equally. We are colleagues when it comes to acknowledging the one we follow, perfect peace. Let your leadership not mislead you. You can never replace the integrity of another. We all are integrity. We are a colleague. We are friends. We are one mind. Perfect peace. Integrity versus despair. We have been talking about our two great lords, stages of development, Lord Piaget and Lord Erickson. Very popular, enabling of stages of development that we can work with to develop to expect it, to know the milestones and what needs restoration and what needs to be maintained. True, there have been fluctuations depending on the environment and cultures and our present way of life. Things have changed. Our children of today are not the same children of our days. 1983 is not 2023. Two different groups of people, but the same being. We are a race, but two different people. Impossible to enforce your childhood in a child today. May frustrate the child. There is need of observance, need of therapeutic communication. Therapeutic meaning healthy communication without aggressiveness, humble communication. When we begin to realize that integrity starts from the first day of a child into the world until the last day of our very existence in the world. It doesn't matter what age you part from this world. Be you of a child, be you of an adolescent or an adult, or the final stage of adulthood, the complete adulthood. Integrity. Integrity. At the complete adulthood, we understand that there is need of understanding where we belong. What position are we? Are we in the despair or integrity? What is our position in life after all our achievements? Are we of integrity or despair? Everybody wants to be of integrity. That when you hear the word despair, does it mean that you have lost? Does it mean that you have failed? Many fall sick. Many break down, even worse, at their very last stage of this physical presence, the end of the journey. Many break down. Instead of being excited, they break down. When you complete a race, you complete with joy. You must be able to stand the applaud and not faint. You must be able to receive the applaud and not faint. Why exhausted at the end? Why exhausted at the end? The misinterpretation of the words we call crisis. When we hear the words crisis, we feel disgusting. We feel condemned. We feel lost. We feel like non-existence. We feel unworthy. All these words unworthy, our definitions of them even complicated than the words of the expected. When unworthy only meaning an awareness of a diagnosis seeking wellness and not seeking a complicated grief. When we call despair complicated grief, we lose the value of the word despair. Despair is awareness of diagnosis seeking wellness. Aware that integrity has never been lost. The despair we are understanding that we have become is only a shadow, a misunderstanding, like a holy grail upside down. is still the Holy Grail, can be reversed upright. The need to be able to diagnose yourself and not pretend. When some are about to reach this completion of age, the final adulthood age, they may start to fake their reality, scared to be diagnosed with the word despair, when the word despair is very, very needed of understanding if that's what you're struggling with. Are you still with a shadow or of expected? So that you don't go out of this physical feeling like those still falling short. Like I said, the water that evaporates with impurity falls back like rain. The need to advance, never returning. Will the Hindus and Buddhists call it greatest enlightenment? Perfect peace, our journey to perfect peace. Must I plead we understand that despair only means one on a journey. Despair only means a traveler. We right now have the diagnosis. Despair is a diagnosis. An awareness of a diagnosis seeking wellness. We are aware of our fallen state. We are aware we are in a dream. It is time to redefine the words so the young can be fulfilled earliest of age, not struggling in between the two. We are all struggling with despair at different levels, different categories. We are all colleagues. We are a team. Must be of expected players. We have a game. We have to win the game. We cannot give up on playing the game. Then we call ourselves losers, meaning stagnant. We cannot be stagnant. We must be able to reach the destination perfect. There's a difference between stagnation and completion. It's time for us to encourage the understanding of the perfect. Our lords have gathered all materials, ideas, minds that we need to build the mansion. They have built the foundation. Now all we have to do is put the mansion. Cannot despise the foundation or the mansion is ruined. If we despise the foundation, the mansion will be a Babel tomorrow. We must advance, not to fall back. Our advancement to wellness perfect is not to fall back. Becoming integrity is not to become despair again. Understanding we are in the place of despair must be advancing to perfect peace. We are on a journey, must reach the destination of another word, of another understanding. Last video, I tried to explain the 4 stages of Lord Piaget's stages of human and development, having to do with sensory motor, the pre-operational, the concrete operational, and the last one called formal operational. That's just to explain to us what it really is signifying of simplicity, like what we call the book of the dummies. Does not mean that you are stupid, but needing a reminder. When we have fallen into so many pieces, we need a dummy. Because we have fallen into so many pieces, we have a computer. Does not mean we are dumb, but wise to understand we have fallen into pieces. Too many pieces. A computer is a dummy of our mind. does not mean that our mind is lost, but just to tell us that we have fallen into too many pieces, like the keyboards, like the keys of the keyboard. When I needed only one button, but now so many buttons. Having too many pieces of a puzzle, we have testified such a person has very high IQ. To be able to put 10,000 pieces of puzzle compared to one putting only 4 pieces of puzzle together. We will say, when a child is young, give them only 4 pieces of puzzles. If you give them too many, it's like challenging them, challenging their mind. It's like hurting them, meaning they have lesser IQ compared to an adult, an early childhood compared to an adult childhood. But if you understand actually what it means, 4 pieces of puzzles is the expected. When you have too many pieces of puzzles, that means a complication. Now, if you can solve 10,000 and you have only 4 pieces, of the 10,000, does it mean that you are smart, like the child is smart? What do I mean by smart? Sufficient, efficient. A child with 4 pieces of puzzle is efficient, is enough. The child is a perfect being. The child has not their own, but depending on another, meaning they cannot make their own complications. They cannot add on to the complications. But when we grow up, we add on to the complications, bringing down others. Impurities, enabling into the air. Combustion, bring down those of healthy above. Giving us 2 forms of the possibility of a fall, of those who grow up without complete integrity, and those with despair, asymptomatic despair, bringing down those of better above. What am I saying? When you provide information that you're perfect, false information brings down those healthy above, which is why we have, by all possible means, to complete this journey, to prevent those who have reached the destination perfect already trying to return. Misinformation. Misinformation because of asymptomatic cases. Misinformation because of those misdiagnosed. Advancing still defiled. No one wants to fall back. Some don't want to even go up because they don't want to fall back, which is why we have to be able to address this crisis. If I have despair, I need not bother myself going up. I will just stay despaired. What is despair? One traveling. Tell people despair only meaning one still on the journey. The traveler is another word for despair. And if you're a traveler, you must reach your destination. You cannot be stagnant. called the traveler. It is very important for us to understand these four stages of Lord Piaget. That today I want us to take a look at Lord Erickson's stage of early adulthood versus complete adulthood. Saying early adulthood starts from age 20 to 44, 45. Complete adulthood, which is the stage of integrity. Some call it the end of life. End of life meaning complete adulthood. If the words that have been used of the foundation are bothersome to you, it is time for us to readdress them gracefully, so the journey be achieved of perfect to its complete state. Does not mean we are disloyal to the words that were used of the foundation. Very, very important words to those who understand what it's trying to achieve. But for those still struggling with understanding, graceful words be used so that we can all be able to attain the perfect that we are. We are colleagues. No one is supposed to be left behind. Understanding that we all fall in different pieces. When a glass falls, it breaks into pieces and the pieces are never even. Yet they are all broken pieces. We are all a team. Recovering to wellness. Getting to the answer is not at the answer. Must we all be able to reach perfect peace? That even those that have already reached are still short of the pieces still left behind to make a complete glass. The earliest we recover, the better. Integrity is the glass becoming whole with no pieces missing. It is all about cooperation and not a competition. It is all about cooperation and not a competition. I'm not trying to deny the word competition. Have I said it is all about restoring the world back to expected, working with cooperation so children can recover and not fall, following us with the complicated of some of us struggling with the word competition and the children also following and getting hurt. Competitive is cooperation. Competitive is a very strong word for the word cooperation, just like lost is to love. Lost is a very strong word of love, misunderstood to mean aggressiveness. Lost must be restored. Have we talked about lost? And now all about integrity. Must we be mild on the word lost and competition? Where we are now proves that there is a greater of us, of how we struggle, the complication, the need of a great evaluation onto each other to seek wellness perfect. Perfect peace, the great enlightenment, perfect peace, the Father, perfect peace, the God. However you call this great one perfect, because of our different forms of falls, must we be able to have the same effect and same actions towards the end goal, and where our existence should be of infinity and not frustratable. We should not be struggling. We should not be having frustration, but reaching perfect peace. Integrity, our end, is our original state of being. End of life is our original state of being. What is death is not a complicated we see. Must we try to reverse this and gain the expected, healthy? It's the mind, battlefield free, we must hold on to, while experiencing with the children the perfect of battlefield free. Lord Erickson's early adulthood virtues is love. It says its psychological crisis is intimacy versus isolation. Intimacy versus isolation. Significant relationship is friends, partners, ex, existential question. The question at this stage is, can I unite myself with another person? Can I love? The events of this stage is romance, romantic relationship. Virtue. Virtue, according to Oxford language, is a behavior showing high moral standards. The kindness of love. Have we been trying to understand the word love? Did I say love must find lost? To really have love, we must redefine lost. Lost meaning fusing. Lost meaning fusing to one, which is only possible after the healing of this complicated state. If we try to fuse now, we only fall apart more. We must be able to fuse of expected, and that will take correcting every complication, cleaning up to perfect, advancing, healing from every complications. Early adulthood virtues is love. What will an early adulthood experience of integrity without struggling with the crisis of isolation? Intimacy should not struggle with rejection. Isolation is intimacy. The crisis called isolation is a complicated isolation. Rejection is only an awareness of diagnosis. Isolation should not be of a complicated grief, but rather awareness of diagnosis seeking wellness. Looking at isolated right now, we are trying to get to perfect peace, intimacy, the expected lost, the fusing together without falling apart. Our journey to perfect peace. Despair is a traveler. The traveler is an isolated one. Isolation is the traveler traveling to perfect peace. One who sets out is isolated, is on a journey, on a mission, not condemned, not lost, never to be found. Looking for an answer is already the solution. Having a question is because there's an answer. The significant relationship of this stage, friends, partnership, and this is after adolescence. Adolescence and early adulthood are one, the age 12 to 45. Very, very powerful stage of our existence. It is the in between the childhood and our complete adulthood. This bonds us very effectively. Must we understand its characteristics? The psychological crisis of isolation might have been misunderstood to mean rejected one who is aggressive, who pushes away others. That when someone is called an isolated one, they begin to feel like they are not friendly. A leader is an isolated one. Being the light to shine onto those in the darkness is an isolated one. There's a healthy isolation. Must be able to identify ourselves with this healthy isolation to gain the intimacy of expected. Where there is a question, there is the answer. Despair is only one on the journey, knows the destination. How can you be on a journey without knowing the destination? The question of this age group is, can I unite myself with another person? Can I reach destination perfect? Looking like all broken, can we become one again? Can we become of expected? Can we fuse back to the glass that we were? Or are we condemned forever? Are we going to stay in pieces like this forever? Obviously, we can reach perfect peace. When you fall, you can stand. Though looking like complicated of everyone falling short of their own different abilities, some feeling like they can never be the shoe, but only the socks. Some feeling like they can only be the watch. At the end, we all make the uniform. But are we going to go up there looking like the uniform? The uniform is the mind. The mind, uniform meaning even. When all uniform parts are put all together to one, the uniform items are put all to one, they become complete and your mind becomes fulfilled and enlightened. And that is the uniform, the enlightenment of the mind. The physical uniform is just the symbol. Do not be shortened by what you see, but the completion you feel of your mind. That when you feel isolated, remind yourself, I should be the light. Now, if I'm the light, am I a dimmed light that will make others fall, or am I the expected light? I must check my low self-esteem. I must check my arrogant pride. I must be of humble pride. I must be of humble pride. Despair is lost, meaning a nomad, one on a journey. The pondering of the mind must reach perfect peace. Lost is powerful. The one on a journey is already at a destination because you must have the end goal before you reach the destination. You must have the end goal before you start the intervention. You cannot start a journey without knowing the end goal, without knowing where you're going. The destination must be with you already before you reach it. You're already at the destination before you even travel of the physical. You need to show your money. You're already the worthy. Show your money. Destination, integrity. How you travel this road to perfect peace matters. When told you are diagnosed with despair, you need a resting place, is what they're saying to you. You need to show your money. Show your money that your integrity. Because from the origin, you are integrity. And if you cannot show your money, you need someone to encourage you to wellness. This is where we have something like dignity therapy. Dignity therapy is a therapy that encourages everyone who are short of their understanding of who they are, those who are diagnosed with despair, with a journey to know that they're already integrity, that they already have the destination with them. We have learned of hospice care at the end of life. This physical expression should not limit us from expressing the expected for the children to be of greater minds and not feeling shallow and lost, feeling dumbfounded. We find ourselves going to a complicated way of reaching the destination, complicated journeys. When it's only a stroll away, why do you take the complicated way all around? It's time for us to enable the short way of reaching perfect, such that even only you reaching perfect and the other going all around is still you going all around. It's time to encourage all to follow the right path, no one falling short. The many you can enable, the better. It is very important for us to redefine integrity of expected to its neighbor word, despair. The one on a journey. Despair is only the journey. Integrity is the person on the journey. Must complete the journey because you are the traveler to reach perfect peace, the destination. Some are symptomatic, must keep on being reminded. Call all the possible words of faithful, all the possible words of encouragement, of hope, will bring them to the understanding of where they're falling short. Love, the early adulthood, adolescence and adulthood. It is said that of adolescents, we struggle with the role of confusion, not sure of who we are, of hearing the word despair and integrity at the end. We are scared to be of despair, then feeling despair. Thinking despair only meaning rejected, meaning not possible to be of existence. Doesn't mean I'm lost, I cannot be found. Impossible to be lost. I know me. Even if no one can see me, I know me. Have your integrity and be the light. Do not feel isolated complicatedly, but the expected light. Of all you do, do well. For whoever is seeing you, pretending not to see you, should at least get something right. It's time for us to encourage all to wellness of expected. Those gone ahead of us, those still with us. Hoping no one is coming in because it is a complicated state. It is the journey. If you are at the destination, stay at the destination. We will get there soon. You need not come to look for us. No one is descending anymore. That those that are already here are enough. Travelers are enough. Those with despair. Integrity on a journey must reach perfect peace. Why is integrity having a journey? An endeavor, realizing no need of it. Have I said we have been trying to express how great we are for so long that we are exhausted? Must we be able to hello the others above of expected and not misinformation? It's time to enable the right information to go up of expected so we can fulfill the complete adulthood of our universal and not only of self. What we are trying to attain right now is a universal adulthood completion, not only self. It's time to generalize Lord Piaget's stages of development and Lord Erickson's stages of development to a universal, not just an individual. I hope this video today enabled us to reorientate of higher minds we have reached, higher educations we have achieved. These basics should be able to encourage us to spice our work of expected. Common sense is common, needing those that are still at the resting place to enable common sense. The resting place of better. When you look at how a child puts the 4 pieces of puzzle together, gives you a mind of how to put the 10,000s together. Those still with the mild help those with the complicated to be able to reach their expected. The acute healing encourages those chronic stages to reach wellness. Let us reach wellness of perfect peace. I plead. No one is not important. Everyone is valuable, from the least to the greatest. You will not believe how much the little hands can help in the work of well-doing. Yet, should not make too many little hands. We'll all complete the journey already of battlefield free. We have learned, and must keep learning, must keep on emphasizing so we do not fall back again with a complication. We are experiencing despair today, are nomads, are migrants, are travelers, and must reach the destination perfect peace. Integrity is our identity on a journey to integrity perfect. Thank you all for listening today, and stay tuned for the next video next Wednesday. I hope this little expression, trying for it to be very detailed for the sake of those really struggling with mental health. Powerful people struggling with mental health. Our great grandparents of well work done struggling with mental health. It's time for us to enable dignity at our complete age of adulthood. The adulthood completion should be of dignity. The earliest possible. We will not even struggle with therapy at the end. Let us educate the children well. Thank you all for watching today, and stay tuned for next Wednesday. And what a day. Rejuvenate and refreshing yourself with healthy water of the mind. Be still in the storm, back to peace that has no storm, looking on to perfect peace. Thank you for watching today.